Now at 10, we speak to local students about how President Biden's student loan forgiveness could affect them. Plus, we speak with Ukrainians living in the 4 states celebrating Ukraine's Independence Day today. And Joplin softball heads into the fall with momentum and a new head coach.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some students and graduates may have some relief coming their way. This is KOAM News at 10. Several student loan websites reportedly crashed today after President Biden announced his plan to forgive billions of dollars in federal student loans. The move makes good on one of the president's key campaign promises, but is being widely panned by Republicans who are calling it an election year stunt and inflationary. We're going to have local reaction and give you a chance to weigh in yourself in just a moment, but first, Skylar Henry reports from the White House.
The outrage over helping working people with student loans, I think, is just simply wrong, dead wrong.
President Biden is defending his new plan to cancel up to $20,000 of debt for millions of federal borrowers who earn less than $125,000 a year.
I believe my plan is responsible and fair. It focuses the benefit on middle class and working families.
Top Republicans are slamming the move as unfair.
The legal justification for it is highly questionable.
Fundamentally, when we borrow money, we ought to pay it back.
While many Democrats have praised the plan, others, like New Hampshire Congressman Chris Pappas, are critical, saying it sidesteps Congress and doesn't address the underlying issue of high college costs. But those who currently struggle with student loans say Wednesday's announcement is a big deal.
I've racked up a lot of debt, and it would be a huge financial blessing to get rid of at least even a little bit.
It's going to help me because I have loans out right now, but that's not going to help my younger sister. It's not going to help my younger friends.
In the coming weeks, the Department of Education is expected to release guidance for borrowers with federal loans dating prior to the end of June 2022 to apply for forgiveness. The president has also announced the final extension of the federal student loan repayment pause through the end of the year. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
In an attempt to deal with remaining federal student loan debt, the Department of Education says it's proposing new rules to slash federal income-driven repayment plans from 10% to 5% of a borrower's monthly income. The department also plans to overhaul the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which cancels the remaining loan balance for borrowers and work for eligible nonprofits, the military, or federal, state, and local governments after 10 years of repayment. The student loan forgiveness will also make an impact on students right here in this area. We spoke to some students at Pitt State on how the student loan forgiveness could affect them, both positively and negatively.
I feel really good, actually. I have some loans myself, and so when I got the news, I got the notification on my phone, and I was like, oh, this is really exciting. I really hope it applies to current students. So we're really excited.
Yeah, I 100% do not agree with it. It's going to drop the U.S. dollar tremendously. Inflation's going to go up, taxes are going to go up. It's not going to be good.
And that brings us to today's KOAM News Now interactive question. How do you feel about the student loan debt cancellation? Your options are you love it, you generally support it, generally oppose it, or on the other extreme, you hate it. You can give your answer right now, KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. The results are updated live. You can also leave additional comments on our Facebook page, and we're going to check back in on the numbers a little bit later in this newscast. Now, while some students are celebrating student loan forgiveness, others are celebrating the start of the brand new school year. Crowder College in Neosho today hosted their annual Cookout on the Quad. Not only is there good food, but the event also helps students connect with local businesses. Next week, Crowder College will host their Bargain Bonanza at the Student Center. Let's check in with Doug.
Well, it actually turned out to be another nice day for us today. Nice little string of days that we put together. High temps, mainly upper 80s to lower 90s. 91 our official high, couple notches above where we should be for this time of the year, but great starts into the 60s. We're not seeing triple digit heat, which is good. The record 102 set back way back in 1947. All right, nothing's going on here. We have pretty much clear skies. really most of the Central Plains looking pretty good. Any showers are down across southern plains and then up through northern parts of Iowa and Nebraska. Temperatures are comfortable. We're sitting low to mid 70s. By morning, we'll drop back about 66 in the morning by noon, 88, 93 by 5 p.m. high temp. It's going to be a little bit hotter, right around 94 degrees. We're going to talk about rain chances here in just a bit.
See you then. Ukrainians living in the 4 states are thinking about their homeland today, the 31st anniversary of Ukraine's independence from the Soviet Union. The war in Ukraine is entering its 7th month. And those we spoke to in Joplin say the war makes it a hard day to celebrate. One saying it's obvious that Ukrainians want to remain their own country. Another looks for the little things to celebrate.
We are celebrating this day, 24th of August, and we celebrated with flowers and champagne until this year.
Alexander says he hopes the war in Ukraine ends as soon as possible. Coming up, how the state of Arkansas plans to provide more funding to its public school districts. Plus, the 1 Million Cups organization visits small business owners in Carthage. State of Arkansas has passed a bill to allow American Rescue funds to be used by public school districts. Noah Tucker spoke with a district that'll benefit and others that are still waiting to submit their applications.
$123 million in American Rescue funds. That's how much has been approved for public schools here in Arkansas to deal with staffing issues related to the pandemic. 35 districts already benefiting, with more likely on the way.
For this assignment, you guys have all seen Hamilton, right?
Yeah. Teacher pay is one of many headlines heading into the new school year in the natural state. The Department of Education took a small step forward on Tuesday.
Very complex issue for our school district. We had already had a plan approved to do construction. Again, ESSER 3 funds for our district was $1.88 million.
Green Forest is one of the school districts that will benefit from the latest decision, now allowing federal funds to be used towards compensation following the pandemic.
Difficult times that we're having with COVID, teacher shortage, on and on. At that moment, we brought it back to our board and we did a $5,000 compensation package for all licensed employees.
Dr. Matt Summers, the superintendent for Green Forest, says the funds will go a long way in attracting potential employees to the district.
What we're seeing is not an Arkansas problem, it's a national problem.
And not all districts are in the same situation, like Harrison, currently fully staffed and still weighing its options on how to use funds.
We're waiting to get feedback from the constituents that we have, our staff and our leadership in our district, and say, hey, this is where we are, and then take that input in and then make a good decision and then decide what we're going to do in our submitting our report to the state.
Harrison School Superintendent Dr. Stuart Pratt is encouraged by the decision to allow funds for teacher pay, but would like to see further steps taken.
The legislative body and the Department of Education comes up with a great plan to increase salaries so that we have retention in that method. A short-term bonus is good, and I think our staff is well deserved, but it's just a short-term fix to a long-term problem.
In addition to the 35 school districts that have already been approved, Dr. Summers says he thinks more will follow when the legislature meets again next week. The PSU in Paraguay program has a new director. Angela Moots, who served as the university study abroad coordinator, brings a lot of traveling experience to the program. The 15-year-old program has students from Paraguay come finish their college degree in Pittsburgh. She encourages students on campus to take a trip abroad to learn about different cultures. Moots says the experience traveling brings can help people later in their lives.
Traveling is just an amazing experience. Studying abroad, it really opens your eyes to other cultures. It helps you step outside your comfort zone, and it's a really great asset for a future career to be able to interact with people with different opinions and beliefs and different cultures.
Pitt State currently has 8 students from Paraguay on campus. They also have 13 students there taking general education classes who will attend PSU later. Southeast High School is helping students with their wardrobes. Threads for Success was started by the FCCLA teacher and students to help those who can't find the right outfit for interviews. Paris Vratil won the Outstanding Teacher Award and $500 through a local radio station. She's using her winnings to buy more clothing. 1 Million Cups hits the road to Carthage. Every Wednesday, they meet for coffee while two entrepreneurs speak to local chamber members about their business. The purpose of these meetings is to help get feedback and empower small business owners. 1 Million Cups is a nonprofit organization with more than 160 chapters across the country.
It's not a sales pitch that we let people come up and talk. It's, hey, this is what we do, this is what we're struggling with, and here's what I need help with. And then the magic happens when we have the question and answer time, because then people are given ideas, or hey, I can help you with that or whatever. So we're really building a community of entrepreneurs.
The 1 Million Cups group takes a road trip every 3 months to get out in the community for local small business owners who can't make it to the weekly meetings. A little bit later, Joplin Eagles softball prepares to kick off their season with a little momentum.
Plus a few rain chances in the forecast. We're going to check that out coming up next. Well, of course, it turned out to be actually a pretty nice day for us today. Temperatures good as we warmed up right around 90 degrees, 91 for an afternoon high. We had mostly sunny skies, a few little cumulus clouds out there. It looks good right now. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, let's zoom in. Look at our highs. Late this afternoon into the early evening hours, near 90 on the Missouri side and Arkansas side. And then we jumped into the lower 90s once you got out across southeastern Kansas. And it's fairly comfortable now. Mount Vernon, Monette sitting at 72, 70 at Grant, 74 in Pitt, still hanging on to an 81 in Chanute, but at least the humidity is low. These are our dew points, measuring in a degree fashion our moisture. And when they're hanging out right around 60, in the summer months, that's always good to see. You just don't want to be up in this 70 to 75 degree range, but we're kind of hanging out in that, not bad, outside. Pretty much clear skies, 76, easterly winds, light, relative humidity is at 60%. Nothing going on here. We have clear skies across the region, clear skies across the Central Plains. We've been watching leftover tropical moisture southeastern parts of the U.S. This is the remnants of the tropical system that rolled through Texas over the weekend. But besides that, not a whole bunch going on. Jet stream well to the north. This is where the big storm systems like to hang out. As long as the jet is that far north, we're not getting much action around here. Let's go through time, through the overnight hours for us tonight. We're going to back down mid-60s. We're going to warm up quickly, upper 80s by noon. Let's go into the afternoon as we warm up into the low to mid 90s. So maybe a degree or two hotter tomorrow than what we saw today. 88 by noon, high temp right around 94. Southeasterly winds are going to be light, 5 to 10. Now our western counties, so Yates Center, Independence, Nowata, Welch, Parsons, Iola, probably 94, 95 for an afternoon high. Tomorrow night looks good, upper 60s once again. Then as we go into Friday, much of the same. Maybe a degree hotter, lower 90s in Missouri, mid 90s Kansas and Oklahoma. You can also see a few isolated little thunderstorms trying to pop up. I'm going to hold off any rain chances until Saturday, and then we'll see several days that we do have chances for rain. Now these are going to be very hit and miss, kind of similar to what we had this past Saturday. More miss than hit, unfortunately, so don't cancel any outdoor activities you have this weekend, but just know we're going to get a few hit and miss storms each and every day. You can see Saturday, Sunday, into Monday as well. Sticking around through the middle of next week. 94 tomorrow, 95 on Friday. 92 Saturday, 95 on Sunday with those hit and miss storms. Isolated thunderstorms stick around Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And in general, we hang out low to mid 90s throughout the period.
Wish those isolated thunderstorms weren't quite so isolated.
I know. I wish they were scattered.
Scattered would be better. Widespread.
Yeah.
Even preferable.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, we're going to hear from the Carthage High School football team as they prepare for Friday's season opener against Republic. And Joplin softball heads into the fall with some momentum and a new head coach. Jacob Leonard has that and more just ahead.
Well, this week is the first week of the regular season for Missouri high school football. The Carthage Tigers kick off their schedule Friday night, hosting Republic. The Carthage riding a 21-game regular season winning streak into Friday's game. Now, last year, you may remember, they were a perfect 9-0 in the regular season, including winning this matchup with Republic 35-14. Now, the Tigers have a lot of talented guys back from that team, but one area to watch Friday night will be the offensive line. Carthage has a few new guys up front, looking to lead what is always a strong group for Carthage football.
We have 3 new faces up there. We got 2 quality returners with Drew Mushy and Malachi Hausch, but 3 new faces that we have no idea what to expect from those guys. Tyler Willis is back at tight end as well. We consider him a lineman too, but that's the biggest group right there that's going to make or break us.
The first Monday practice, we were very timid. Didn't really want to try, I'd say. Didn't want to get physical. Right now, we're probably almost as physical as we need to be on Friday night, and we will be that Friday night.
They need to be physical, they need to communicate, they need to get off the football, they need to have great pad level, and they need to finish blocks.
Kansas City Chiefs legend, NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Len Dawson passed away today at the age of 87. Dawson led the Chiefs to their first ever Super Bowl title back in 1969, earning Super Bowl MVP honors and the nickname Lenny the Cool. He was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame as a player in 1987 and then as a broadcaster in 2012. The Joplin Eagles kick off their softball schedule this week. The Eagles head into this season with a new head coach and a little momentum. Danny Terzer caught up with the team today as they close in on game number 1.
Good, now read this one, Peyton. Good.
The Joplin Eagles are 2 days out from their season opener, and after Tuesday's Jamboree, the Eagles are excited to show what they're made of.
We had our Jamboree last night, and it was really, really nice to hear them talking to each other about what bunt coverage are we in, where are we going with the ball. I was really impressed by that. So the left side of our infield, it's almost like telepathic the way they communicate.
That left side includes junior Bailey Ledford.
Bailey Ledford does a great job at third base. She's going to lead by example. She's going to be there. She's going to make the play. She plays really, really hard. So we're really happy with the play that she's given us.
And senior Izzy Eust at shortstop.
We're going to lean on our defense, keeping scores low and hopefully scoring more than the other team. And here, what does that ball do in the outfield when it comes down? It's going to have a bounce, okay? And we know how to play that bounce, but they might not know. And we're going to lean on our base running. We've got a lot of speed this year, and we hope to make that a weapon for us. You're rounding that thing hard coming out of that box, making sure you're looking for 2.
As for pitching, it's a mix of experience and youth.
This year we've got really an anchor on the staff with Jill McDaniel, being a senior, 4th year in the circle. She does a great job. We've got 2 freshmen that'll probably see significant varsity time in Ava Wolf and Kaylin Bobsky. They both threw last night in the Jamboree and did a really nice job for us.
They won't be the only underclassmen stepping up. The Eagles are rounded out by a sophomore class with experience and drive.
Last year, my class, there were some girls who, they had the potential. It was just they had to build up for it and adjust to high school. And this year, I've seen a lot of them grow just over the summer, and just our team, I think, is going to be pretty solid.
In Joplin, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
Joplin kicks off the season with a pair of games on Friday, facing both Aurora and Carl Junction. St. Louis Cardinals hit the field tonight for Game 4 of their 5-game series against the rival Chicago Cubs. Now, the Cards have won 2 of the first 3 against Chicago and 9 of their last 10 games overall. Now, they're trying to stay hot this evening and secure the series win, but it's Chicago rolling tonight 7-1. Lars Nootbaar had the only RBI of the night for St. Louis with a solo home run in the 5th. The Kansas City Royals finish up a 2-game set against the Arizona Diamondbacks this evening. The Royals are aiming for the split after dropping Game 1 last night. Kansas City gets it done this evening 5-3. Bobby Witt Jr. hits a 3-run homer for the Royals, while Brady Singer, another great start on the mound. He goes 7 innings and allows just 1 earned run. Now it's about to be really busy time of the year for the KOAM Sports Department. Of course, we have Missouri high school football beginning on Friday, Kansas high school football beginning next week, and then Missouri high school softball beginning on Friday. It's busy, but it's a lot of fun.
Sports Department ready?
We are definitely ready.
Fans are ready. I'm among them. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran, Vincent Chiravisi Jr. served in the U.S. Army from 1970 to 72. His hometown, Arma, Kansas. And we're proud to salute First Lieutenant Vincent Chiravisi Jr., a four-state hero. Let's check back in on our KOAM interactive question. We've been asking throughout the day, how do you feel about the student loan debt cancellation? The majority, 63%, hate it, 34% love it, and there are very few who feel in between. Thanks for participating. That poll is now closed. Fair warning, once you hear this, you might not be able to unhear it, and it's a little bit terrifying. It's the sound of a black hole. Yeah, NASA shared this 34-second clip of the Perseus galaxy cluster, which is about 240 million light years away from Earth, give or take. Scientists say the black hole sends out pressure waves that cause ripples in the hot gas, which can be translated into a note. To be clear, though, the actual note is one humans could not possibly hear. It's about 57 octaves below middle C. The folks at NASA say they shifted the note so we could hear it, amplified it, and then mixed it with other data they have about black holes, and that's what they came up with. So, in other words, this is what you could hear if it were a sound that you could hear, but it's not, but they created something that you could hear, sort of.
I'm pretty sure that was just like the intro to a Rush song.
That maybe needed a little Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah.
NASA's got a lot of time on their hands, it seems like.
I guess. Time is what space is all about.
Yeah.
Over the coming days, it's going to be hot.
Yeah. A lot of time to get outside and enjoy it. 94 tomorrow, 95 on Friday. Rain chances by the weekend.
Final sports note.
We got more high school football coverage coming up. We're going to hear from Neosho's head coach Brandon Towdy live at 6. Also a preview for Labette County at 9 and 10 tomorrow night.
Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.